Synopsis of the Books of the Bible. Psalms. By JND Darby. All Scripture is given by inspiration of God, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. 2 Timothy 3 verses 16 and 17. Synopsis of the Books of the Bible. By John Nelson Darby. Psalms 102. Christ rejected and cast off, yet creator of heaven and earth. Psalm 102 is one of the most, perhaps the most, remarkable of all the psalms, and presents Christ in a way divinely admirable. Verse 10 gives the occasion of the cry with which the psalm begins. Christ is fully looked at as man chosen out of the people and exalted to be Messiah, and now, instead of taking the kingdom, he is rejected and cast off. See note. The time is the immediate approach of the cross, but was, we know, perhaps often, anticipated in thought, as John 12. He looks to Jehovah, who cast down him whom he had called to the place of Messiah, but who now meets indignation and wrath. We are far, here, beyond looking at sufferings as coming from man. They did and were felt, but men are not before him in judgment, nor is it his expiatory work, though that which wrought it is here if we take it in its full effect on the cross, the indignation and wrath. It is himself, his own being cut off as man. He is in trouble, his heart smitten like a pelican of the wilderness and an owl of the desert, his days as a shadow that declines withered like grass. Such was Messiah, to whom all the promises were. Jehovah endured forever. His promises were certain. He would arise, and have mercy on Zion, and the set time has come. Note, there is no bringing in of me in connection with indignation and wrath, as in Psalm 22, though Christ realizes it in spirit. But personally, he is lifted up and cast down. It is a key which opens up much in the Psalms, end of note. The whole scene, from Christ on earth to the remnant in the last days, is one. When Zion was restored, the heathen would fear the name of Jehovah. Jehovah will appear, and, when he builds up Zion, hear and answer the poor remnant, and thus declare his name in Zion, and his praise in Jerusalem, when all nations would be gathered together there. But where was Messiah then? His strength had been weakened in his journey, his days shortened. He had cried to him able to deliver, to save from death. Was Zion to be restored and no Messiah? He weakened and cut off. Then comes the wondrous and glorious answer. He was himself the creator of the heavens and the earth. He was ever the same. His years would not fail when the created universe was rolled up like a garment. The children of his servants would continue and their seed be established before him. The Christ, the despised and rejected Jesus, is Jehovah the Creator. The Jehovah we have heard of coming is the Christ that came. The Ancient of Days comes, and Christ is he, though Son of Man. This contrast of the extreme humiliation and isolation of Christ and his divine nature is incomparably striking. But it is Christ's personal sense of rejection, and that in connection with the remnant, not his bearing the judgment of sin in his soul for men. Look at the difference of the consequences in Psalm 22, though that perfect work was needed for the nation, too, or their deliverance could not have taken place,